branches are handy.
Dude, yeah. Where's our stylist?
Would you like to get closer?
Yes, sir. Ayrie? Excellent. Good. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'm surprised. Good.
But I'd like him
Very
more
vertical.
kind of,
Go.
Okay, so my name is Ayrie Cunliffe, and I was really brought in at the very beginning of the project to help visualize not just what might happen here with the Elkington Forest, but also what the translation of the aspirations of the Trust for Sustainable Forestry into creating a different land use model and building, around the idea of building little villages in the forest as to what that might look like. The idea of building a small, relatively concentrated community in the forest comes from the new urbanist aspiration to really create proximity when you're building community. The way that translates, it actually works at a number of levels, but the way that it translates here is that we're actually putting the homes closer together instead of spreading them all out on, for example, to contrast it, if you were sprawling this development, you'd put one house for every 20 acres. Our idea is to really change the notion of what it is to live in community and proximity to nature. What really differentiates what's happening with the Elkington Forest is the strong competing values that the native habitat has. The very idea of preserving a forest in perpetuity and preserving wetlands in perpetuity and habitat corridors through a property, which is also something that we looked at length, means that when we define the areas for human habitation, we're concerned about there being a kind of integrity. So there really is the idea of a village green and the space within the village that then builds this community that we're talking about. The number of interactions that would occur between the people goes way up, and there's a tendency then for people to get to know each other better and start staging events that can happen, within the community and so on. And, one of the other ideas that we've got is that within the village zone there'll be an opportunity for a more urban kind of agriculture where we can build orchards and growing plots for the residents in the hamlets. So the Trailhead Hamlet is the first of two hamlets that will be built in the Elkington Forest. And the Trailhead Hamlet is distinguished by the fact that it's in very close proximity to the Trans-Canada Trail Network. The idea of the Trailhead is that people using the Trans-Canada Trail will be able to stop in the village and get provisions and use the services that are provided by the village. If I can just describe Trailhead physically for a moment, it's located on a fairly defined dome site which had been selectively logged prior to the project. So there's several things that made it a logical choice for building. On pretty much all sides, other than the entry side, the land falls away into what is going to be part of the watershed. In other words, very defined drainage paths. In Trailhead, there are approximately 18 homes created around a village green where various community amenities will be located. There's going to be a community hall, a gazebo or extended roof type structure where people will be able to go and have community events and so on, playground for kids, and also food production would happen in those areas. So the center of the village is a relatively urbanized or civilized kind of place, and we're defining strongly the transition from the center of the village to the natural siting that's in the forest. So the homes themselves, in conjunction with fence lines and so on, define a perimeter edge which will keep out the deer from getting in the garden and so on. The backyards of the people living in Trailhead will be opening out into essentially wild forested land, which everybody loves.